too good to be bothered. Oh, living life with no stress. Yes, every minute's my best. Yes, feel like I'm winning the lottery, buying my mama a house.
Put them in my bag. I normally do 1, maybe 2 cigars a week. I put 4 of them, 5 of them in.
Whose water is this? Yours?
That's me. Gotta take labels off. I forgot. Y'all can't be advertised.
Y'all live on YouTube. Don't say nothing. Don't want the mayor to say nothing crazy. Real Talk Podcast, take one. Don't say nothing. Listen, that was a dance. There we go.
The sun's out. La 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 la. And it feels so good. La 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 la. On the right side. La 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 la. And it feels so good. Let's go. La 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 la. Praying hands to the Father. Oh, way too good to be bothered. Oh, living life with no stress. Yes, every minute's my best. Yes, feel like I'm winning the lottery. Buying my mama a house is harder than pottery. Winning it just like I ought to be. Things looking up, up. I'm living on the bright side, looking for that good life. Everything is alright, riding on that golden wave, swimming in a fresh blue, pussy feeling brand new. Sun is about to break through. Ooh, I love the world today. I'm living on the bright side. 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 It's that tank top weather, oh. All my friends get together, oh. Feel it couldn't be better, yes. Tell me this is forever, yeah. Summer days they're getting hotter. She getting up out the water. Baby is beautiful, so that's the future is wavy. Colors are crazy. I'm living on the bright side, looking for that good life. Everything is alright, riding on that golden wave, swimming in the fresh blue, pussy feeling brand new. Sun is about to break through. Ooh, I love the world today. I'm living on the bright side. 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 The chemistry is right. I'm feeling so alive. Dreams flying in the sky. And I'm never coming back. I'm living on the bright side, looking for that good life. Everything is alright, riding on that golden wave, swimming in a fresh mood, pussy feeling brand new. Sun is about to break through. Ooh, I love the world today. I'm living on the bright side. 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 I'm living
Talk Podcast. What's up? We back again. You already know what time it is. Guess who here? DJ Go.
Yes, we
What's
back.
up?
Another Tuesday. We back. Make sure y'all please share this live. Cost you free 99. Shout out to RF39 Productions and the whole team. And you see we got a special guest today.
You already know.
Oh, can't forget about our other guest host too.
How you
man.
doing,
Come on
Alonzo?
now.
I'm here, man. I'm here.
All
I'm
right.
sitting next to the man of the hour.
All
So
right.
I'm ready. I'm chilling. I'm ready to get right into convo today.
And guess what?
What?
I ain't even gonna say what's up, Sam. I'm gonna say what's up, Mayor.
Hello.
Yeah, our Waukegan mayor,
Give it
man.
up,
Our
give it up, give it
Waukegan,
up,
man.
give it up. Give it up now. Give it up.
Man,
All
a
right.
lot of energy
You
tonight.
already know. And I'm not gonna forget RF39 Productions. Day in the
Shout
house.
out.
Like always. Juanito, what's up? Bumba, what's up? Behind the scenes, they're helping out.
Shout out to We Working Media, man.
You already know what they doing.
We showing love, man, and like I say, we special guest today. I feel like we making history. Like
You feel like it, Go.
Yeah, I
Don't
feel
start
like
no mess. What you talking about? You
well, you know,
feel like it.
I'm a real supporter, unlike you.
Yeah.
Okay, well, good.
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure I'm a real supporter, unlike
Right.
Paul here. I've been supporting the mayor from day one.
There you go.
Like I say, he a great man, and I'm honored for him to be our Waukegan mayor again. And I'm ready, and I hope Waukegan ready. You know, we got, you know, we voted, and I think it was all fair. I'm glad. I'm glad Miss Ann Taylor's out of there. I'm glad.
Read into
And
it, Sam.
yeah, you know, he ain't got to say nothing. I say it. You know, I'm glad you're out of there. You know, and I seen our whole campaign. It was just all negative. And I'm glad we got our new mayor.
Yeah,
But we
got
gonna
him
get
right.
into it
We got him
because
here.
we got a
him
lot of
here.
questions. We got some questions.
Yeah, we got your questions, but go ahead, give us a little bit of what you think though about the race. How the race? I mean, just your opinion.
My opinion on the race, right
Yeah.
next to the mayor? Really?
mean,
No,
yeah,
I'm
just-
just kidding. I'm
look
just,
here. Give it.
Honestly, I'm never for a slanderous campaign.
Okay.
I think that there's so many ways to do things. And I think that going around it in the way that the opponent had,
With lies.
and just like the visuals, you know what I mean? Like it looked bad. I feel like there was no way Sam was gonna lose when you have that on the opposite side, and that comes from a place of hate. You know, when somebody's putting out that kind of content.
Okay.
I mean, you have to have a lot of hate in your heart in order to put those kinds of things out there or say those kinds of things in a place of that much power.
Okay.
But what else could you say if you haven't done nothing for the
Exactly.
Waukegan?
And so, but that's what I'm saying. So when you come from a place of hate, when what you're putting out there is really disturbing stuff and what you're saying is disturbing and there's really nothing positive about it and you're not doing what you need to do, then yeah, how could anybody vote for you? Why is that what you're holding on to?
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I think campaign-wise, I'm not a Waukegan resident, but just watching it
Right.
and being so highly involved in our community, it really just made me like, ooh, why would I ever want to vote for that?
Right.
Why would I want that?
So my take, right? I'm from Zion, right? I'm from Zion. I love Zion. I live in Waukegan now. I've always hung around people in Waukegan. For me, I want to see my mayor. I want to see my Zion mayor. I want to see Waukegan. I want to see North Chicago. When you're in a community and you're walking around and you're doing this, and I got to say this: when you're doing it, when you're not the mayor, is even more impressive.
Yeah.
So not being the mayor and you still out in the community, you at the games
Yeah.
with the kids. That's what wins. It should win anybody over as far as the community.
It's a lot when you say community. It's a lot when you say community because we do a lot for the kids. Me and you, we do a lot for the kids. We give away backpacks. We do so much for the homeless, the veterans. Like we do a lot. And like you say, even Christmas stuff with people that do events. I don't see her outside. I don't see her coming helping out. I never seen her. 4 years she was in, I never seen her.
Okay.
Maybe once or twice. Didn't even know who she was. But like you say, I think you have to be more involved with these kids, with the elderly, all that.
And that's-
All this counts. All
And that's
this
why
counts.
Sam won. So how do you feel, Sam? Let's not.
Yeah,
we
let's
got a
let
guest
her-
here.
yeah,
Let's
let's
talk to
let
our
her
guest,
go first.
please.
Before we even hit there,
No, we gotta
I
talk
go.
to him. You're gonna
Before,
get into
there's
it.
some people that don't even know who Sam is, though.
Well, let him.
We got new viewers,
Okay,
so we're gonna start off
okay,
like this.
Okay.
Sam, please tell us a little bit about yourself.
There. Let him speak. Let him speak.
So, for those who do not know, my name is Sam Cunningham. I am mayor-elect of City of Waukegan. I am I'm a kid who grew up on the south side of town. For those who know what the south side is, the south side what is considered in Waukegan, east of Belvedere.
Yes.
The south of Belvedere, east of McAllister, right? That's what we consider the south side. But technically, the south side of Waukegan, the divider is Washington Street south. Anything Washington Street south is considered the south side. Anything Washington Street north is considered the north side. Grew up single-parent mom. My father passed when I was 1 year old. Mom did what a lot of moms do. They took care of their families. From that point on, I was a paper boy, a barber, what they call, the brush boy, you get your hair cut, and then they brush the hair up your back. I was hustling that, y'all. that was that nickel, dime, quarter.
Yeah, there you go.
And from there, I was at the Waukegan Fruit Market. It was called Pete's Fruit Market at 10th and Lewis.
Yeah.
So that's where I started. That's where I really learned that customer service, attentive to people and their needs, understanding the business acumen of success. Graduated from Waukegan East High School, Bulldogs, woohoo!
Yeah.
Yes.
From there, went on to Central State University, historically black college. Graduated in '89. From '89, came back to Waukegan, and I'm gonna tell you, I came back for the love of it. Had an opportunity to actually go to Cleveland and be a roof replacement salesman. So that was some good money. Some good money, I'm telling y'all. So, and then started my family. Have 2 daughters, Sierra, Samantha.
Shout out Sierra Samantha.
Yeah, and 3 what we call we don't say step, we say bonus. 2 bonus sons and a bonus daughter.
There you go.
So we are a great blended family. From Denise and I to my children's mom and Jesse, people look at us like, I thought they were. That's how we get down, and that's how we're supposed to get down.
There you go.
We've always taught our children is this: marriage is an amazing institution, and I hope everybody experienced that. It just wasn't right for mom and dad. However, we gave them an example. It is still great. And that's what we want them to know and understand and go from there. From there, I started my political career in 1999, elected as First Ward Alderman. After about 4 terms there, which is about 18 years, became elected mayor of Waukegan in 2017. For those who don't know, I was the first African-American mayor.
Yes.
Which is very historic.
Very.
But
I
let
think
me...
it's a great thing.
It's
Very.
beautiful.
Like,
since
I've been alive,
Yeah.
black president, black mayor, don't get no better than that now.
It doesn't,
Don't
I cherish that moment.
Yes.
And during that time period, I never wanted to make mistakes. Why? Because I always I can't make a mistake. I can't make a mistake. If something happens
Under the microscope.
yeah, and internally I did that. Externally, you did your job. But ultimately, I'm the mayor of Waukegan. Certainly in 2021, amidst of everything that went down, the experience I enjoyed. It wasn't changing for the world.
Right.
But I knew I wasn't finished.
Okay.
2025 comes, we up from re-election. We're able to put together, and I'm going to say them and put a pin in that for 1 second. The conversation that you 3 just had, that's the reason I'm in this business. You giving your full understanding. I'm not a politician, don't really care, but I'm not down with that negative stuff. Tell me what you're going to do. Are you out in the community?
Yeah.
I don't know you. That is what this business of being a public servant, and the term as politician is all about.
Correct.
To hear you three talk about that and very sincere, that is what not only your audience, but the vast majority, that's what people really want. Don't be giving me Sam was over here or Jack was over there, Tony was over there. Tell me what you gonna do.
Yeah.
How are you going to help our school district? How are you going to help our neighborhood, our blocks? How are you going to make sure the finances are there? That's what people want to hear. And if you're not able to convey that, then you shouldn't be elected. And as we move forward, those are the kind of things that I am going to be looking for, because I don't want this to be a 4-termer. I'm a minimum of 2 terms, but I must earn that minimum of 2 terms.
Shoot.
Yeah.
And the earning process comes in the things that the goals and objectives we want to lay out, execute, then present back to the public as here's why we need another 8 years to continue on.
Can I chime in really quick with a
Go ahead,
question?
go ahead.
Do you want to just give your shout outs really quick before I chime in?
Yeah.
in here.
Yes, because
ahead.
Lucy is definitely watching, but Antoine Wood says salute, welcome back, Mayor.
Hey, what it
Key
was?
Wine say what's up, guys, and what's up, Mayor. Wine say hey, Mayor. Carlos saying what's up. So
Los.
Yeah.
So everybody showing love, man. And like I say, we are Waukegan residents. We know what we want, and we know what we need to make Waukegan better. So
Yeah. So I do have a question, just hearing your background, and thank you for that, because a lot of people just don't know. But what was the defining moment that you said, you know, this is what I want to do? You talked about being a public service, not being a politician, but what was the moment that you can identify that you said, I need to get into the office because I just witnessed this, or somebody told me, or what was that?
Well, it's funny you say that, because when I became the alderman, I thought that was the mayor. I was like, oh, I'm the alderman. No, So as I grew into my role as a leader, as alderman, and not as the first ward alderman, but as an alderman representing the city. I had some amazing mayors. I served under 5 different mayors. I had some amazing mayors who nurtured, developed, guided not only me, but others. But they saw that I was hungry. So I'm out doing editorials, Chicago Sun-Times, Chicago Tribune.
yes,
You know, and I'm speaking from here. And I'm gonna tell you, in this business of being a public service, when you speak from your heart,
oh yeah,
people feel that. And
Yes.
they gravitate to it. Back to your question, I knew then, in order for me to do the things that I think Waukegan need,
yes,
I could not do it in the automatic chair.
Got it.
You had to be at the mayor's chair.
yes,
The Waukegan I grew up in, the Zion you grew up in, the South Side you love, the Beach Park.
Yes, sir. Y'all did me bogus though, but okay.
No.
Go ahead, Sam.
Well, listen, we love those communities, and
Right.
they were great for us, right?
right,
Our children are not going to come back for the love of it. They're going to come back for a better school system,
Yeah.
better neighborhoods, employment opportunities for husband and wife. And if we don't give that to them, they're going to go to surrounding cities, or whatever city is going to give them that. You compound that with a husband and wife, mom's first thing, education, education, education. So do dads, but moms they dive in there. They know who the teacher this. So we must have those things in order to attract all of you. If I can't attract all of you, then we have a city that's going to be left kind of desolate. I didn't want that. I want my daughters to come back and be around their dad.
Yeah.
If not, they're going to find a place where they can, and dad got to go see them.
Yeah.
So in order for me to make those changes, you got to be in the mayor's chair.
Yeah.
Then you have to then set policy, have some vision, put that vision on paper, then execute.
execute,
And execute means sometimes I got to go against Paul.
yeah,
Sometimes DJ, sometimes you.
Yep.
yes,
Because it cannot interfere with the mission.
yeah,
The mission is rebuild Waukegan. That's the mission.
That's
for
it.
Sam
Amen.
Cunningham.
Come on, Sam. Rebuild Waukegan. Yeah, because I'm trying to sell more houses in Waukegan, Sam.
but
and if you don't,
you gotta remember, for people out there, they gonna expect the mayor to be doing this shit overnight. It ain't gonna happen. Stuff takes time, so we need y'all to be patient. But please believe it takes time. Nothing's gonna happen overnight.
So let's talk about that.
And people expect that, but it's not gonna happen. Nothing to happen overnight.
People think he could just, fill the potholes
Snap a finger
tonight.
Yeah,
I know y'all be complaining about them
hold on.
potholes.
You probably got to get a budget for that. Like I don't know how it go, but
Yeah,
man,
there's a lot
just
of
'cause
inner workings.
If he
You know,
comes
since-
mayor,
go ahead,
if he
ahead.
comes mayor to, like I say, if he's when do you go in office?
December, May 5th.
May 5th. Okay, yeah, it's May 5th.
Roughly around 7:30. So the way that happens is it's a regular council meeting. So the mayor will then officiate the old business of the council meeting. Mm-hmm. The new business of the council meeting starts with the new mayor. Okay, it starts with the new mayor. So when it says new business, I get sworn in, then I take over the agenda.
Okay.
That's how that works.
Are we invited?
So that's
Yes, it's a regular council. Public
Okay.
is there.
I'm
So it's
there.
gonna be packed now.
May 5th, 7:30. He will be in office.
Yeah,
So
about 7. We'll be there.
So May
Yeah, it'll be a
6th,
party.
don't expect these damn potholes to be filled on May 6th.
Hey,
You just can't do that.
we doing them. I got about 4 tires need to be replayed. No, I'm just playing.
Yeah.
Let's not get on
But-
that.
Andy Guzman says Sam is invited to all the carne asadas. You love your Latinos, don't you?
Wait,
You love all the
man.
people.
So what did he just say? Invited to where?
The carne asadas.
What's that?
You don't know? Go carne asada, meat grilled, cookout. The cookout.
I don't
yeah. Carne asada,
Potholes
eh.
on Washington and Macri are diabolical. That's okay. I know you're gonna get there.
I'm telling you.
We're not going.
I'm telling you right now.
Look at the camera right
Where's
there.
that?
We're talking right there, right there.
Washington Street would be the first thing on the agenda.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I
Come
get it.
on,
Hey, that's
Sam.
one of my questions right there. Hey. Right now, give it up.
Our cars are getting damaged.
Listen.
Insurance is high.
That's the first thing on the agenda. I
Okay.
promise. And every alderman has agreed.
Okay.
When I was campaigning, I'm telling you, man.
No,
Sam, thank
it's-
you for coming to my door,
told
but
you-
can you fix Washington Street?
Yeah.
Hell
That's
yeah.
I
everybody,
want a
man.
Robert to drive
You
down
gotta
Washington
figure.
with me.
So
That's the
he's
mayor.
like our mayor, our Waukegan chief of command. So if the chief of command riding and hitting these bumps like he's
Hey.
probably
Man,
like,
I know. Yeah.
damn,
And the
I did.
I'm like, you don't. I'm like, hey, we gotta get this one done. But yeah, it does.
Carlos Retana, shout out Juan's
Close.
Chuck Wagon. He said these potholes in Waukegan will have you turn your volume up and down. All right, let's get to
Look,
the next question
so,
from Mayor-elect.
So look here. What are your plans now since the election just happened, and how do you feel about it? Being reelected, and what's some of the game plan you got going?
Well,
Other than Washington Street.
let's talk about being reelected. So being reelected, do you know, I am the second mayor in Waukegan's history to be reelected after losing an election.
Okay,
Hold
come
up,
on now.
I ain't know that now.
That's
Bob
amazing.
Sabanjan was the first.
I remember Mayor Bob Sabanjan.
Bob
yeah.
Sabanjan was the first. Then he lost to Bill Morris. And then Bob Sabanjan came back and won again. 2017, 2021, I won. 2021, I lost. 2025, I won. So, and here is really what you're going to love, DJ.
Thank you,
Both of
Robert
them-
Vine, for the stars, too. Go
Yes,
ahead.
thank you for the stars.
Both of those mayors are from the south side of Waukegan.
Come on now.
Come on now.
There's grit there.
Yeah,
There's grit.
that is the word, grit. And the grit comes with the love of the city.
Amen.
And people feel that love and it's contagious. Not divisive, but it's about making sure that Waukegan comes first. Not the black, not the Latino, not the white, not the LGBTQ, Waukegan.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
got to be colorblind on this.
When
all
it
gotta
comes to the mission, you got to be
we got to
colorblind.
colorblind,
No, that's right.
and we got to come together. We definitely have to come together.
Rebuild
Colorblind,
Waukegan.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody who's tuning in, by the way. Feel free to send stars. Real quick, I'm sorry. I just want to give a shout out. You've got so much love going on here. Yeah, absolutely. Marcus Yarbrough, shout out to Marcus, has his own podcast. He's wonderful. I went to Zion with Marcus. Shout out to the mayor, seen me in jail and told me I'm going to get you home. And he did. He knows. So you don't just speak. You
Put
do.
action.
You
That
do.
action.
Yeah. All right. Let's get to it.
Marcus, hey man, his daddy was a man.
Yeah.
Big
Marcus
Yarbrough,
is
that's
funny.
a legend.
Marcus was one of the funniest dudes I ever met. One of the tallest, biggest dudes I ever met, too.
Good young man, come from an awesome family.
Amen. All
So,
right.
I'm gonna get a little tight, a little bit, y'all, just a little tight. Do you feel any pressure from anyone, meaning the community, any of the community people, as far as like Gold was saying, he was saying like right now, the pressure of urgency. Is that a word I can use, Gold?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's a great word.
Do you feel like the community gonna
Come on, Sam,
tighten
do
up.
it
Yes,
now. Like,
Well, listen,
talk to me now.
I expect for that,
Talk to me.
but I'm gonna tell you, during my first term, handling the pressure of people, that was cool.
There you go.
I'm in my zone.
Yes.
Love it when you come to my office. Da 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 da.
Thank you,
because we can direct. Here is where the pressure comes in, and I have to control that a little bit better.
Yes.
It's my internal pressure.
Okay.
I don't want to fail people. I don't. I'm telling you, I do not. I don't want to let them down. I don't want to fail. And it really sometimes it goes back. It goes back to my upbringing. It goes back to my upbringing. I look at the things that was around us. They didn't do this. They didn't do that. We could have had this. We could have had that. I want to bring that to Waukegan.
Yeah.
Then I look at my daughters. I say, Sierra, Samantha, I want them to be proud of their dad. So these are the things that I had to control, gonna have to control a little bit better, and just say, hey, let it ride. Make the decision, move on, and don't have that internal. Because when you do that, you can make mistakes. You're like, no, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah.
And it needs to be strategic. It needs to be with counsel, and it certainly needs to be transparent, because sometimes people will give you an idea that can help the mission.
Yes.
But sometimes we at least I did, home right here, nobody gonna mess with this mission. I'm gonna work this myself. Being able to allow others to come in more, not that I didn't, but just more.
would you?
Go ahead.
Would you say, so that was going to be one of my questions, is what do you plan to do differently? What was one of the things that you did in your first term that you look back and you're like, God, if I had only just not done that, or if I had only actually done that, how are you going to apply that? What was that? And how do you plan to put that into action in your second term?
Oh, I think, one, I wish COVID would have never happened.
Yeah, facts.
Because that's when you was a mayor around COVID.
Yeah, managing COVID was extremely. That was a little bit. It was difficult because it was live.
It shocked the world too. Though.
Man, it shocked me.
Who would ever thought we had to stay in the house?
But right?
Yeah.
I would have never thought that in a million years.
And I think it was probably hard for you just based off me seeing you and seeing you out there. I think it was hard for you because what I see, Sam, is that you have a love for small businesses.
Yes.
And I think that that's very prominent in your campaigns and just as who you are. So I think that when you say I had a trouble with COVID, I wish COVID never happened, I feel like maybe that comes from maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong, a pressure to try to help those businesses stay afloat.
Absolutely. We were working with Congress, so during that time, we got an opportunity to go to DC, and this was actually with in DC. We're going to see Brad Schneider. So when you go to D.C. in the Conference of Mayors, you go and see your U.S. congressmen, your U.S. senators, and all those who affect your budget and bringing money to your city. We go to Brad Snyder's office. Me, Mayor Rockingham, Brad Snyder's, and a couple of other mayors throughout the country. They says, hey, you guys want to be in this press conference? Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm good.
yeah.
No problem. So we get there. It's kind of like this. They do a briefing. They said, well, you have 15 seconds. You got 15 seconds. You got 15. I said, whoa, 15 seconds for what? Oh, you got to speak. I didn't know I got to speak. I just came here to, sit on the sidelines,
Right.
So at that time, they was going to shut down the government. At that time, there was a situation was coming to my phone. Mayor, there's a rescue that's going on in Lake Michigan in Waukegan. The Coast Guard. So the Coast Guard was not getting paid. I'm getting this while I'm walking up to the podium. That was my deal.
Okay.
I passed that. I was talking about, hey, they're still doing their jobs, still without knowing they're going to get a paycheck.
Right.
Let's really move this thing on. Next thing you know, I'm on C-SPAN. That ran in their like political paper the next day, front page.
Wow. Yeah.
So it is those kind of opportunities that I had a chance to express what's going on in our community, to convey that up to our leaders. What are we going to do different? Certainly be more broader in what we do, understanding that we have to bring in more partners in order to achieve the things that we want. And when we're talking about the things that we want to do, we must say, Waukegan can't pay for all those things.
Yeah, why are we paying for so many things?
Well, I mean, that's just to run a city, everybody.
Right.
It's not free to cities. Attorneys,
Of course.
filling infrastructure. We did an assessment on infrastructure when I was mayor. 500 million is what we needed to bring our city up to par.
And when you say that, are you talking about, taking down old buildings and putting up new buildings? Like, what is up to par?
Infrastructure. So what we own, here's what we own. We own 360 miles of roads. We own a water plant. We own police, fire, public works. All the equipment you see, we have to buy that equipment. A fire truck, you know what a fire truck costs?
Probably about 300.
$5 million.
Woo,
Damn.
woo. We also.
An ambulance is 500 to 700,000. A fire truck with that's about $1 million and a half.
Damn.
So we have just in fire equipment alone, probably close to about 20 million. Police squad cars. We have I think they said it was 165, what we have budgeted for. Every police officer needs a car.
Right.
That needs to be, all those things need to be what? Rotated every 5 to 10 years. So there's a cost to operating and managing a city.
Damn. Don't
And
look at
that's
that.
why
People don't look at that, though.
they don't.
I know I didn't.
Well, no one looks at it
Yeah.
because it's an emotional attachment. It's the school district, it's the park district, it's the potholes. All they want is for those things to be done. I say, I agree with you, but let's put a capital improvement plan together as we did in 2018. Identify all of these needs, put them on paper by good, bad, ugly.
Yeah.
Get the ugly, the good.
Get
the
organized.
ugly, somewhat. That's what it's an organization of those things. So that's what we did in 2017.
Right.
That was the foundation of where we're at today.
Okay.
I'm assuming, and I'm pretty sure they did some road improvement, but I want to be very aggressive with it. What I mean by very aggressive, aggressive mean, $6 or $7 million a year for the next 10 years
Yeah.
on infrastructure. Why? People look at your community
100%.
as they coming through.
Come on,
Come on,
Sam.
Sam. There we go.
120, Washington.
There you go.
Grand
boy.
Talk
Avenue.
about it.
Come on,
Yeah.
man.
So those are the kind of things we have to do. And your thing about being patient, it takes a lot of time to put those things together.
Heck
But,
yeah.
but once they gone, you want to see projects.
And they're going to hold you.
I
mean,
want them to.
Yeah,
it's
they
okay.
got- it's
But
gonna-
coming on this podcast
Yeah.
and explaining this process helps. I was in like some old traditional New Sun, What's Happening magazine.
Now they want to charge me for New Sun.
And I'm also glad you're able to come on here and do your podcast. I mean, come on our podcast as almost the first interview, right?
Yeah,
This is a first.
Good. Thank you for doing Real Talk.
Since you've
Yeah.
been elected, so I feel honored. You
Shout
know,
out to.
and I see a couple people watching. You
Yeah,
know,
they're all coming in. Thank you for the stars, you
yeah,
guys.
they've been showing the stars the
Carlos,
love. You got a lot of love
Stephanie,
out there, man. I promise you. You got a lot of
Jocelyn,
love.
Brenda, Michelle, Don.
But how do you feel about some of the people? Because I'm gonna ask the questions like,
Talk about it.
how do you feel about some of the people that didn't vote for you in 2021,
There you go.
but they on their coattail for 2025? Because I seen it, and I even seen some people from the South Side,
Go ahead, turn up,
West Side that actually was they was actually
up.
going
Go
against
ahead.
Sam, and I'm like,
Give him a minute, Sam. Go ahead, man. He been wanting to get this off. Say
No.
what you was gonna say now. Say it.
I just try to figure out like how does that work? Like they were so against Sam on 2021. I remember the whole thing. I never turned my back on Sam, not at all. I didn't ever care about I didn't care about none of that. I was just more upset how they turned their back on him at a time when we need a.
Here you go. I'm gonna
They
ask you a question.
turned the back on Jesus.
Do you think he remembered? I'm gonna ask you.
I mean,
ain't
I
asking the mayor.
remember because
I'm
there was a
asking
lot
you.
of people that everybody be around here praising now.
I'm
Like,
gonna pretend he ain't here. I want you to
yeah,
ask
it's a
it like
lot
that.
of people. A lot of people probably watching now that was against Sam.
Could you let it flow then for
And
me?
then now it's like I seen a lot of people now, 2025. Oh, they man, let's Sam.
Well, people did the same thing with Donald Trump too.
Yeah, but
No,
but
I don't look at you
They
can't
did.
look
They
at it
did
like
the
that.
same thing. They did the same thing. A lot of people who did not vote. I think it's because they saw what he did. You know what I mean? I mean, you can only have an opinion of somebody before they do something.
Okay.
And then you have a different opinion after you've seen them do something. You know what I mean? Your mind only sees what it wants to see until it becomes a reality.
is it fair to say you've
lot of
seen
people
what you
ride-
had? You know how that's
They
saying.
ride
What's
the
that saying?
wave, Paul. They
Okay.
ride the wave.
All
Let
right.
them, as long as they're for you, right?
See, I look at I mean,
let me say.
This is real,
Well,
real talk.
Let's talk
trust
about
none
that.
of these suckers out there. I wouldn't trust none of them because it's
DJ,
like
I
Let me
cannot
turn
put you
them
in
loose for a
office,
minute.
man.
no, it's
I had
like
to turn them loose for
no,
1
it's
minute.
just how can you trust them?
Well,
They were
let-
against him in 2021, but now you're.
I
I hope you don't forget though, Mayor. I just hope you don't forget.
We got to be forgiving in order to do this job
Well-
too, right?
Let me say this to you.
Ladies and gentlemen.
When it comes to how people support, a lot of times people support based on an emotion. And that emotion, it could be, Sam didn't help my kid. Now you take that, you didn't help everybody's kid.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, there are some situations where people, they're going to disagree with me. I get it. That's life. Here's the other deal, though. We as politicians, and I'm certainly going to include myself, I don't toot my own horn enough.
Yeah, talk about it. I like
And
that.
I don't toot, because that's just not, DJ. That ain't what we do.
You right.
You grind. Oh my man, he helped me out. All right, you good? Bye. Let's go.
Next, on to the next project.
On to the next, and that is where I was, the space that I was in. What I have to do in the future is let people know. Now you have a compare and contrast. That's another one. They compared what I was doing to compare to what was going on now. It's like, well, dang.
Right. He
What-
wasn't that bad.
What? He wasn't that bad.
Say it.
So, but it is okay for me to say that I was instrumental in making sure that there is an entertainment center called Casino. Which is a revenue generator. Understand? I was instrumental in making sure that the zoning was put in the proper place for cannabis, another revenue generator.
Because it costs
Did you do that?
how
Yeah.
much
I'm just trying
for
to see.
a police car now that we know, because
There
it
you
costs
go.
so much for fire trucks now that we know. So when people are like, why do we have a casino? How many people do we have in the city of Waukegan?
So
Documented.
Right now, I say on the books and off the books. On the books, that means census. We're at 90,000.
I was gonna say 150, but
That's
the ones.
90,000. Off the books, we service 125.
So
So that puts us at number 5. We're the 5th largest city, correction, on the books. We're the 9th largest city in the state of Illinois, but we service at a 5th largest. But we are the largest community north of Lake Cook Road,
Right.
in the most diverse community.
So when people are saying, why are we having casinos? Why are they opening up so much cannabis things? Well, unless we raise your property taxes, which you're going to murder us for, then we have to find other areas of
Just come
revenue.
to council meeting.
Yeah.
You're
Doggone
coming to
right.
council meeting.
Doggone right. Doggone right.
And then
Come on, Gold.
Even though I don't smoke weed, so
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
you.
they say
I
they
can
need to
hide
put
right
better
next
weed
to
in
'em.
them dispensaries while we talking.
Well,
I'm not. No, don't answer, man, because they're
No,
gonna
I'm
hold.
not.
They're gonna
No.
hold you
Yeah,
again.
hold you
Don't say
accountable for that
nothing.
one.
Yeah, don't
sales
say nothing.
tax.
Sales tax.
Get what you can get, sales tax.
Yeah. You know what? Let me just answer this. I want to say this real quick.
And there's a lot of people we do got to shout out. But
Yeah,
go ahead.
after this one, let me holler at Mary about this one. Do you feel like there should be changes within the office, board members and stuff, other seats, stuff like that? You ain't got to answer it. I just want to say it's Real Talk Podcast, and
But he can't answer because he probably feel like it's a lot of people in office that portrayed him or portrayed other people in office that need to be exposed. It's a lot of stuff that he sees that we will never see.
okay.
So he knows what's going on in the office. We don't go to the office, so we don't know what's going on.
After-
Mr. Mayor definitely knows what's going on behind the scenes. He knows what's
we all do.
After-
he know
just grin.
he know what
I just wanna grin out
politicians,
of it. That's it.
what aldermen. Because to me, honestly, and I'm asking kindly to remove the chief of police. I don't know how we can do it. I don't know how,
okay.
but we're gonna figure out how that's gonna be the next thing I'm gonna ask our wonderful mayor, because I believe he's been in there too long. He's been too unfair, and I just think it's time for him to go as well.
Do you have an answer to that, Sam? Because I have a question that's going off the chain here.
Well, I would say right this. Everybody,
not trying to
every
put our
new
mayor on the
mayor
spot.
that comes in will do an assessment.
Okay.
And you certainly have an opinion. I respect that opinion. I look at police, fire, public works, all of those. I have a relationship because I've been in Alderman for 18 years. I know them
Yes.
on a different level when it comes to them, and I respect what they do. Here's what I say:
Definitely.
I'm on a mission. Either you're part of that mission or you're not. Now, if you can't be a part of that, then I need to reevaluate who's in there to help me be a part of that. I'm not saying, no, I don't. Yes, I do. I'm just telling you. And that's what every good leader does.
Correct.
So if there's issues that come from our police chief, fire chief, public works director, planning and zoning, CDBG, you bring those things to me. We bring them up. How do we address them to fix them? Now, if that's something you're not willing to do, and man, you're not part of the mission. You
got to go.
You got to go.
Say
Because
it.
I definitely believe. I'm
Come on,
Yeah,
go.
man.
I'm serious.
I
How
want
you
to
gonna
unleash
be-
you. Can I
how
unleash
you
you a little
gonna
bit?
how you
That's
gonna
all.
build? How you gonna move forward if you don't have the proper
Everybody
team?
has to be able to
Yeah.
move forward together.
Come on. We all
Yeah.
the whole team gotta move.
Okay.
Question.
And I can state my.
I wanna be clear
opinions.
now.
I can
Absolutely.
state
I'm
my,
good with all of my department heads right now.
Yes.
But there's going to be an assessment. Let's
Okay.
be there.
Yeah, okay.
And,
Question.
on part of that assessment, like I say, and I'm just throwing this out there to my Waukegan people.
Real
and,
talk
and,
about
and if y'all
Oh,
40,
my
40
goodness.
people watch it, just
No,
50 people, I'm sorry. I'm just stating how I feel, and I'm stating off what I've seen. I'm stating off the situations I've been in. I'm stating off the help I never received from all this, that other people hasn't received from the chief. I got so many problems, and other people has problems that still haven't been resolved. From police officers lying, they never did nothing, just swept it under the rug. Like, it's so much I can go on far as this chief will be all day. But like I say, if everybody want to keep him in office, keep him doing wrong, keep pulling our people over, acting like he's our chief of police, but he still jump out like the jump out boys. Sit your ass down, relax, and get your team in order, because your team is doing wrong. Your team is out here racial profiling the black and brown downtown at any venues around here. They the ones that's ruining it for a lot of us. They jump out and they think they could just do what they want to do. No license and insurance. Get your ass out the car, sir. I have license. Get out the car. And they all doing everything illegal. And I have proof. I have videos. I've been waiting to put them all out there at a certain time. I tag Waukegan police. I tag them all the time. Remove your chief. He's doing bad. Because the chief is like our mayor. He's the ones in control of the police department. What are you really doing for the police department besides putting up these dumbass roadblocks? That's all you're doing is putting up these roadblocks everywhere, bothering the working people. I just think that shit is stupid. Getting these communities, you got 30 police officers at one roadblock. You could put 5 on the west side, right by Webster. You could put 5 by McAllister store or 10th Street somewhere, protect the community instead of bothering people for damn seatbelts. Seatbelt checks, get that shit out of here. That's stupid to me.
Okay.
But the chief of police, I've been watching him, and I got paper trail on his ass, so I'm finna put it all out there one day.
Let me put you down. Let me calm you down, though. Let me calm you down.
It's okay,
Because-
MJ. It's
It's
okay.
not-
Let's
it's
go
not
ahead.
right,
Go ahead,
though.
get to the
That's
end.
not
It's
right.
okay.
Calm down, man. Calm down.
He was crashing out, but that's
Yeah.
okay.
I had to let him get it out.
We respect the crash out.
Mayor, so I just
I gotta-
had to let him get it out now.
But
this is America.
But hold on.
Amen.
I can say what I want,
That's what I'm saying.
but I'm stating facts too. Now I'm not making nothing up, so I'm just stating all
So
facts.
thank you, Gold, for that, because maybe the mayor will hear that and things will, change. You don't know
An
unless you say
assessment.
something. So Michelle Arizmendi had a lot of likes on this comment, so I'm going to specifically read this comment because a lot of likes means the community wants to know. What strategies will you be implementing to foster the restoration of our community and effectively reduce violent crime? Which is also runs into one of my questions. What's your plan for the first 100 days in that sense?
I think that's a lot of information.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot of information. From a standpoint, I want to go back to, you have to do an assessment. I do. Coming back in an assessment, and that's what I did the first time I came in. Got to find what's wrong. Where are the triggers that needs to be improved? And then once you identify those, certainly come up with a plan to do that. And that encompasses part of your 100 days. But initially, certainly, we have not had a finance director for the last 4 years.
No finance director.
Well, let me.
Sorry, I'm about to crash out.
No.
Come on now, Mayor.
We've had
Talk to us now.
we've had a person to come in and help with the budget. Certainly, you had individuals who are equipped to handle the finance department, but you need a leader. So we certainly going to be bringing a finance director, a building commissioner. There wasn't a building commissioner there, so we had to have a building commission. These are components of every city that are essential to running. Obviously, DJ Gold certainly has some concerns as it relates to our police
love you
department.
both.
Yeah, don't get. I don't want to get on the wrong
No,
foot.
no,
or
no, no,
nothing
no.
either.
It's
I was just stating that.
No, no, no.
That's
I was
part of
just
being
stating
mayor is
that.
listening.
No, and you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Sandra said, I don't mean to cut you off, man. Sandra said she believed that the mayor can actually fire the chief of police. So I don't know if
We
that.
ain't gonna talk
No,
about
no,
it.
I know that. I'm just making the.
Is that a,
I'm
is
reading
that
the
a
damn
decision?
comment.
Is that a decision that a mayor can make? Is more
Listen,
like
An assessment.
mayors, every mayor has he or she has the ability to certainly terminate, demote anyone within a certain rank, but there needs to be causation.
And I'm not saying fire him, take away from his family.
Okay.
No, but find something. Let somebody else be in charge. You got to figure he been too long. Let somebody else just be in charge.
Well,
change.
not
That's what we
defending,
want,
not
right?
defending, not defending our current chief. I think you were 2 years, maybe 2 years, but you're talking about 30 years, close to 30 years of service, so understands how to run the agency.
right.
My goal here is this: I have a mission.
Yes.
Let's put that mission, the plans of that mission in play. That mission encompasses safety for the city of Waukegan.
Okay.
What we do have, and this is throughout the country, we have a lot of young men and now young ladies who commit some crimes, and they're baffling why they do them. How do we get to them before they then commit these crimes and cause harm in our neighborhood, cause harm in our schools, cause harm just at a festival? We just can't have that. And people need to feel safe in our neighborhoods. That's a high priority, not just for me. I trust that for my chief, his deputy chiefs, his commanders, his sergeant, down to our actual patrol. Part of that safety is our fire department, our ambulance service, our fire service. Public Works is part of that's part of that safety program. That's part of the mission. Next, our infrastructure. Having that quality infrastructure is part of that safety program. So this is not just on the police or just on the fire or public. Everything that we do is part of that public safety component. Because if you have bad streets, that means you can act bad. Yeah. If you have a smooth, and I ask you all, when you go down Main Street versus going down North Avenue, you think, walk, talk different, don't you?
Yeah.
Why? Because you see something, I don't know what
Become
it
a
is.
product of your environment.
But you definitely get treated different too.
And let's
I
be
mean,
clear.
You do.
And
I
I want to be
video
clear.
right now from Tuesday. Man with a cane, black man, old man with a cane.
But do you think he would be there if the infrastructure looked different?
Well, I think what would happen is if we took pride in that 500 block of May Street, the same pride we took on the 700 block of North Avenue, people, that's where we have to change that. Okay. The pride doesn't come about where you're at. The pride comes because you're in Waukegan.
Right.
All right.
And then once we establish that, and it's easy to establish those things, but people got to see that you care.
I know that's
you
right.
You can't uplift downtown and let the rest of that Waukegan go down.
No, you
that's
can't.
right.
So
Yeah.
people got to say, I'm going to do a little work over here this year.
Yeah.
I'm doing a little work over there this year. I'm going to improve this park. I'm going to make sure. That's where I'm at. That's the feeling I get from the residents of this community, certainly our business community, which then generates people going out and freely want to spend and buy the goods and services at the
so
necessary
that we can have the revenue
So
to make
I
it
want to
better.
just show
yeah.
you this one video real quick. This took place April 1st. And I just want to know, is we really safe in Waukegan from the police? That's all.
But
And,
it's
it
more
is
than
perfect.
just the police, Gold. I mean, it's us.
It's-
We are killing each other.
No, we can't.
100%
We definitely
are.
are, but we talking about being fair and being how we are in Waukegan. And I'm just going to show everybody this video. Just tell me how many police you see. You see one, right? You see two. You see three. You see four. But you see 5 officers. Watch me zoom in. About 70, 80-year-old man with a cane. Got him out the car.
What if he's a rapist?
Well,
You never know, dude. That's what I'm saying.
we ain't gonna win this conversation.
No,
so,
and
like
I certainly, I think
I'm
that's a
talking about,
time.
are we safe? Are we really safe from our police? I think it was just way too many officers for an old man with a cane.
I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this, and I certainly would love to come back. And I tell you what, I really would love to do.
and none of
Probably
them are
have-
black or brown. These officers on a
Well,
black man.
we have that conversation, and
So
I'm not
I'm
here.
gonna put the video out tomorrow so everybody can
Let's-
really see.
And that's cool. What we don't want to do, I believe that we are safe. Let me step back. I want to be safe regardless, officer or non-officer. If there's issues where there are officers that you see that does not meeting your expectation, your standards, then you have access not only to me, then I give you access to the chief. We bring in and we talk about them. Correct. I'm all about, you're not going to be 100% of every person on the job. So if there are some process improvements or people improvements or training that needs to happen, let's get those things done.
Yeah.
But to say that we're not safe from our, I'm gonna disagree because I
What I would
look at
I would
look
ask.
at yeah.
Like I would just ask, like,
Yeah.
are we safe, Waukegan?
I'm going to tell you, yes, we are.
I felt threatened for the old man. That's why I started recording. I'm like, he can barely walk and move. And
Well,
I'm like, they
and,
pulling
and,
him.
I think you have to.
And then
have
they
to
let him go with no
sometimes-
tickets.
and DJ, I think you have to sometimes take a look at the training that goes on in a lot of with the police officer. It is meant for. It's meant for the safety of pedestrian more so for the officers too, but for those who are there. But
Around.
But let's be clear. Let me be very, very clear. And I'm talking to the cameras. Yes, you are safe. Yes, you are. However, if there's something that you dislike about what transpired with you and a particular officer or at the police station, don't sit there and hold that.
And don't
for
just
2
put it on
years
social
or
media.
4
You
years.
can't. You
Come
can't.
there.
You can't. You have to be able, because let's just say this person, this is part of their routine. But if their routine needs to be changed and we don't know that change, then shame on us for not. And I tell you, in the black community, in our minority-based community sometimes, we were kind of conditioned, don't say nothing. If you say something might happen to you. No.
Like everybody in the comments say, boy, you better not drive in Waukegan. I don't.
So,
I don't drive in Waukegan.
That's where we need for you to let us know where those changes can happen. That's all. And it's nothing wrong. Listen, officers not gonna if they don't know they're doing something that offends you.
Yeah.
If sometimes you may say, and please, I'm being only an example here, audience is example. You're pretty,
Thank you.
but you might think that
It's not
as
an
being-
example. It's the truth. I am pretty.
But then, if you say that to some young ladies, oh, you tried to hit on me,
Right.
I'm uncomfortable around. So,
Right.
but gotta let me know.
Yeah.
Right.
Or DJ, I don't like hats.
But it's a like I say, a lot of people, and it's not gonna. She don't think it's a problem because, or you might not think it's a problem because it ain't happened to you.
Oh,
But
I've
if
been
if she-
arrested.
No, I'm saying if she was to leave out right now and get pulled over, you got 6 officers, 5 officers. She'd be like, I'm just driving to the grocery store. Or how many police officers do you actually need on a traffic stop? You know,
Typically, there's always a cover car.
corrupt. Oh,
A cover. There's a cover. Now depends on now.
But we got 5.
Now listen, I don't want to get into this, but
Yeah, 'cause
let me
I got
just
some
say
other
this.
questions.
Yes. So when officers come and they see certain things, they will ask for more cover. It just depends on what's going on. Every situation is going to be different. Again, I'm not here to defend. I'm just here to let you know.
we're not.
Here's how these things happen. Sometimes you just have one officer doing the ticket.
Let me
But
say, there is some good police officers.
absolutely.
out in
We
Shout out Trenton. We love you.
Yes.
Shout out Austin. We love you.
Yeah, it's a couple.
Shout out
it's a
Waukegan
few.
PD. We love you.
Yeah,
No, just-
absolutely.
I'm gonna get to this
Yes,
real
let's get
quick.
to it because we're almost
This is
gonna.
a-
And
this
I have
is
a question after
This
that.
is a real good one here. We all know at this table we got a problem with the hospital.
Yes.
We got a problem with the hospital.
Waukegan
this has
Hospital.
been- we just Mayor, I'm asking, is that something in your power that you
Well,
can take
yeah.
a look at? We asking as a whole community,
It's
Take a
called
look at that.
Victory Vista. Which
Vista.
one is it?
It was
Old Victory, you guys. Old Victory now.
I'm
Vista
old
East.
school, y'all. Excuse
yeah,
me.
me too. Listen,
Victory. St. Therese. That's
when
what
I was mayor, I would tell them, "Young, listen, I understand you knew the corporate name, but it's Victory to me."
Yeah, right. It's
And
still the
everybody in
Sears
the room
Tower.
started
Right,
laughing.
right.
So okay. So to answer to the question is this: that it is a private hospital.
Okay.
So it's a corporation.
Okay.
So the city or the mayor does not have the ability to go in like I can do,
Inspection.
like I can do in the police department, fire department, public works, anything I control. However, what I do have is a voice,
Okay.
and part of their funding comes from the state. So that's why our state representatives, our state senators, U.S. congressmen, they give dollars because of Medicaid, Medicare, certain things that's funded within those hospitals. That's how they operate. If we identify that they are not operating in the best interest of our community, and understand why we say this is Victory, Old Victory, now Vista, it's a regional hospital. So when I say a regional, the region goes as far north as the state line.
Okay.
As far west as Lindenhurst. As far south,
Lake Forest?
137 to where you hit Lake Forest.
Yeah.
All of them are regional hospitals.
Okay.
So the impact of that hospital is grand. The service of the hospital is extremely important. Have they failed us in some instances in the perceptual mindset? Yes, they have. What is my voice to that? When I get ready to go to, I think it's the Illinois Department of, I want to say Human Services or Health something. That's who gives them some of their funding.
Okay.
Hey man, do we need to give them the funding? This particular company who's operating this particular hospital funding when they're not meeting the expectation of the health expectations when it relates to healthcare in this region. I'm now the voice for you, and for those who are complaining. You know, whether you want to believe it or not, people respond when you start messing with their pocketbooks.
100%.
Particularly these corporations.
100%.
So I think there's a small push right now to get them to move to more of a not a for-profit, but a non-for-profit hospital. What does that mean? Non-for-profit hospital, the Rosalind Franklin's, Loyola, a teaching hospital.
Oh, okay.
So when you get those things in, funding comes in, students come in,
More.
the level
Jobs.
of care, the level of care comes in because it's not based on profit. It is based on developing talent that can give the kind of service that is needed. Your John Stroger Old Cook County Hospital.
Yeah.
That's a teaching hospital.
Okay.
They get tons of dollars to come in there to help develop young doctors. We can use those around here.
Okay.
And minimum mistakes.
Okay.
Because you have everybody. It's a teaching hospital. So I think there's a movement for that. I'm certainly a pro that. What I'm more pro of is providing the level of healthcare service that is expected, that is needed in this community, particularly in a community where our incomes are not the level of our surrounding communities. That's the ticket, and that's the voice you're going to get with Sam.
And let's be honest, a lot of people might say something like, oh, they talk about money a lot. What about all these things? Money is power. If you do not have money to do the things that need to get done, change cannot be done. Let's just be honest, whether it's in a church aspect or whether it's in a community aspect. They might say, oh, why are we raising this or why are we putting this business in there? I think it's important for us to realize that if we want to have the beautiful streets that we want, to raise our property values, to want to send our kids to these schools, then we need the funding, we need the money, we need the revenue, and it's for the benefit of all. So I want to say that. Number two, I want to say really quick, they're asking about the panhandlers. That has been a huge thing that I've been hearing about is the homelessness, the panhandlers on the streets on Belvedere. How do you plan to
But before you speak, man,
yeah.
You never know when that could be me or Paul one day needing something. I don't care if they are drug addicts. It ain't your place to even figure out if they crackheads, heroin addicts. It ain't your place. If you feel like it's in your heart to give that $5, $10. I do it all the time. And I could tell half of them are junkies, but some of them might be serious holding that sign
Some
up.
people are actually really homeless.
So for everybody that's even curious about that, you worried about the wrong shit.
Yeah.
To me, panhandlers, somebody could really be hurt. It could be a veteran, a funeral they could be raising money for. We don't know. Don't judge. Even if they are doing drugs. See, they worried about the wrong shit. There's so much other things we need to worry about Waukegan than some damn panhandlers. And that's just my take on it. That's whoever said the comment.
Yeah.
Why are you worried about the panhandlers?
I think
that might be you one day with your family out there. So don't never judge. And that's just my take on that.
I don't think. I think the judgment. I think sometimes people, they're not trying to judge. They're just more of. I think it's more of a concern, personally speaking. So here is my take on that. One, there is homeless that
Yes.
exists in this country. Certainly, Waukegan is not. It's not like we don't have it here. Here is where I want to go with that. If a person is having a substance abuse problem, we cannot enable them by giving them things that's not going to help them get better. And I say that from experience. When and everyone knows my sister Jackie, 10 years substance abuse, and the love of our family, certainly the love of my sister. When I was at some time, I thought I began to enable her to continue to do that because that's my sister, man. That's my sister. That's my sister. That's my brother. That's my cousin. That's my boy. Until those individuals really want to get help, it's gonna be a tough road.
It is.
What is that? How do we balance that? One, I think our panhandlers are being a little bit more aggressive than I want them to be. When you start walking in the middle of the street,
they do. Now we got 10 police cars that DJ Gold don't want out there on them.
My problem with that.
The 10 police cars would be somewhere else before they be.
So my thing is here with those guys right there, we certainly don't want to infringe on their civil rights. ACLU already said, hey, they have a right to hold the sign. We get that, but being in the middle of the street and walking down, that's
crazy.
dangerous.
That's dangerous.
And we need to push them back. Man, stay on the parkway. If not, we're going to have to bring you downstairs. We cannot have panhandlers walking up to these cars in the middle of the street while the light turns. Some can't walk properly. You can't do that. We need to really balance that out quickly because all we need is one time for them to get hit and hurt, and next thing you know, it's an epidemic. Yeah. So we definitely got to address. We got to address.
We ain't
that.
even got a hospital to take care of them. It's a whole thing, y'all.
Yeah, and it is. So we certainly got to address that. The other deal is working with our partners. You cannot say that homelessness just exists in Waukegan, not in Lake County. So when we say we want to put a homeless shelter, let's put it in Waukegan. I'm down for that. But if Waukegan is the only place where this homeless shelter is going to be,
then we have a problem.
Then you're inviting
the whole.
It's
Lake
like
County.
kids with candy.
Yeah,
bro. When you say, man, DJ Gold giving out candy, that's an SOS for the neighborhood to come over here.
100%. Yes.
Waukegan has a hotel that you can go sleep, eat, get some dinner. Then everybody from every part of the community. I say, take care of our Waukegan. Let's talk out west. Let's talk out southwest and say we need 3 homeless shelters for that. What we can't do is bring them in.
Right.
Give them a Waukegan address and say they from Waukegan. We can't do that.
Not that we can't be the only ones.
We can't be because that's wrong on Waukegan, Illinois.
Yeah, and then we talk about value and we talk about what I mean.
Yeah,
Which
so
I mean, I
that
deal with
becomes a problem.
I deal with homelessness all the time. I see it. I know house prices are high. People are getting kicked out. Landlords are. I get it. So I agree with you, Mayor.
It's a tough issue, but
tough.
I think it can be balanced.
But don't judge. That's all I'm telling you.
No, the judging part.
Because a lot of these people wouldn't know the difference. The average person going to work, you ain't gonna know if he's really homeless or drug addict. You're not
right.
gonna know.
I think the question is just how are we going to handle how much we have, right? Which it's not a question of are they a good or bad person.
No,
it's
not
a
judging
question
them,
of
understanding what process we're going to use.
Yeah, exactly.
In order to get them.
Getting into something real lighter, y'all. Let me just touch.
But like the mayor said, though, make sure they safe. They shouldn't be running around. I totally agree with that.
Yeah, we
But
had to stop
they're
that.
out there for a reason. And
Right. We're going to get into
That's
this
it.
one for the mayor because we ain't got too much time.
Yeah,
y'all,
we got
but
about
let's
another 5-10 minutes.
This has been one that they've been hounding me about, the community been saying, and for the people about these food trucks, are we going to get the downtown area and all over Waukegan. I was hearing that a lot of people want to be able to have them trucks come in everywhere in Waukegan. They don't want to just go to Zion, my town, and be be welcome. In North Chicago, it's just been, I'm just, just something I'm just putting out there.
Well,
are we gonna work on something? Period.
I
for
guess
that?
food truck season is coming
It's
in.
coming.
We
Yeah,
need
it's
like
coming
a
in.
farmer's market or something where we could have some food trucks and have people
Now you're
vendor
talking.
it out.
Now,
Yeah.
listen, you say food trucks, but don't have festivals. Food trucks will not survive in a remote area like Waukegan. In your metropolitan city, Chicago, Dallas, Detroit, the population is 4 or 5 million people.
Yeah.
Here, you must have activities for them to participate in.
Say that one more time, man.
You must have activities.
Okay.
So my thing is
Got
here
to.
is I'm huge,
Big
huge.
activities.
From end of May to October, we need more festivals.
There we go.
We need more
Farmers markets.
farmers, whatever, so they can then participate in there. I think the township did a food truck. Oh gosh, like a festival food trucks. Had a lot of food, and I think I spoke with Township Supervisor Jones, and he says, man, we did 5, now we got 20. Why? Because it was a hit. We need activities like them for them to be successful. Now, here is the drawback. You can't ask for food. We can't have food trucks next to McDonald's, next
Right.
to Mickey
Right.
Lucky Scotty's,
There you
next to Greentown,
Right.
because they're going to say, man,
Take
they're
away from my
called
business.
there. So I get that, and that's me as mayor.
Right.
I have to balance that. In order for them to truly be successful in food trucks, and take a look at where you see food trucks at. They're at those what are those ground festivals? They're at county fairgrounds.
Yeah.
We need more of those.
Yes.
If we're gonna say they're cool to be here, then we got to have some activity with them. And I really want. That's always been part of my entertainment in the summer for Waukegan.
Yeah.
We can have wonderful entertainment.
Yes, and we can do that. I want to shut down. Genesee Street from
Say it
Washington
one more
to
time,
Clayton.
man. Say it one
boom,
more
boom,
time.
boom,
Yeah.
or wherever. And just do
shut
that
it,
all the
shut
time.
it down, not just for
Make it look
scoop
like
the
Chicago.
load.
And I will say,
Shut it down for a day. I think
well,
that
you
was
look
a
at
great
Libertyville.
idea.
You look at Libertyville, and
gonna
every
ask you.
Tuesday or Thursday, when my office was in Libertyville, they have a farmers market where they have their vendors come out. You know who's going to be there. They have their food trucks. Waukegan is more than capable, but I think we also there's a lot of I'm just going to say there's a lot of drama in Waukegan, right?
Yeah,
between
that's
people.
why I
between, and
wouldn't
it-
compare that with Libertyville. 'cause
Exactly. And the reason why is because we haven't changed our perception on the way that we think. We're so like, no, this is mine and this is mine. And we're not willing, a lot of us are not willing to collaborate. We only want to compete. And we cannot grow if we do not collaborate.
Once
Well, I think that goes with the mayor. I think that
but
goes with
Libertyville
me.
is more of a white community.
But they're more
White-
collaborative.
yeah, white people know how to stick together.
So why can't
For
we?
their community.
Why can't we?
It's not going to happen. It's just
I'm going to
won't.
challenge you on that, DJ. I'm saying when I think what you're saying, they don't know how to stick together. We stick together. I just don't think we haven't given our people a reason to want to stick together.
Okay. We
All right.
well, I
I
take
truly believe.
that.
Look, for example, I said do my election.
You had a good team, by the way.
Man,
a great,
do my
great
election.
team.
It was so emotional every night. I wanted to win. It was people wanting me to win. They were in it, man. Black, white, Hispanic, male, female, LGBT. They saying, "You gonna win this, man. You gonna win this."
Yes.
I'm like, all right, I know I'm gonna win, but what you don't worry about it. I got you.
Right.
I was honking on the horns. I'm out putting up signs. Bro, guys, Sam, it was so uplifting
yes,
for me.
you had
It
a
was
lot
like
of love.
Mike Tyson, it was like a Mike Tyson fight. Muhammad Ali when he was in the jungle.
Yeah.
He
He had a lot of love.
Yeah,
you
and-
definitely had a lot of love from all races.
But I'm telling you, man,
But-
it was so, for me, I was like,
Togetherness.
I was
It
like,
so
where? I
togetherness.
said, where's this come? And that's what we have to transcend that over to
Right
these
now.
food trucks, to our city,
All
to our school
businesses.
districts, to our business community, and we will.
Yeah, and I don't want people to think I'm, getting the wrong idea. Like I'm saying,
No.
like Libertyville stick together. We cannot compare Waukegan to Libertyville. We cannot
Not now.
compare Waukegan to a lot of
about
places.
to?
But hear me out. We talking about right now. And I'm saying Libertyville is nice. You can go down there and walk they downtown with your dog, everything. Nothing gonna happen to you, you know. And don't get me wrong, they schools is even better.
But that takes change. And mind you, Libertyville was once original Waukegan.
I walk past.
Yes.
I rolled
Teach me
past.
something.
I rolled past Waukegan's. I almost said football field, stadium football field, and I'm like, damn, they need to do something different to this field. Cause I go past Chicago.
Wisefield.
Yeah. Yes, it needs change.
And we can do it, but if we're
It's
stuck
just change, and I don't think it takes a lot of money to make the change.
well,
Shit, just paint it. They look like they need some damn paint.
get some True Green out
Yeah,
there.
they need some paint. They need
those
some-
are the same ones when I was in school, and I talked to you. Talked to like your dad.
And
them.
I'm not trying to be funny. I'm
No,
being
it's the truth.
seriously. Today I rolled by and I'm like, damn, that look bad over there.
It takes
Did you?
time.
Did you go?
And I go past some of these other footballs.
You just said something, and I want everybody own it. I was someplace.
Okay.
I was someplace and somebody said, Sam, you got to own that. Own it. Own the fact that it is not to the standard that you want. We
Yeah.
own that.
Yeah.
Own the fact that Washington, I love Waukegan, but it's not as pretty as I want it to be. Own it. Now, when you start owning it, you begin to accept, here's the change going to come with it.
Amen.
Now put together this plan, now execute.
Yeah.
Okay, we got just a
Ali,
couple
boom
more.
boy, yeah.
And I just don't want people to
Ali,
think I'm trying to talk bad. I'm a Waukegan Bulldog. I went to Glenfleur. I went to Webster, Waukegan High School.
Love it.
Man, listen here, I'm a Bulldog. But I just think it's time
You
to
won't.
redo that field.
You won't.
Before we get off, can I ask Sam something? Do you have a question, Paul? Do you want to? First of all, thank you everybody for who's tuning in. Also,
And my
Thank
question
you.
as far as Vista,
Are we done? Are we off? No.
oh,
okay.
so Vista, like you could change it to a Loyola, whatever. I don't think it's always gonna have that name that Vista's not. Like people don't go to Vista. My girl got sick one day. I shot her way to Highland Park. It just, I don't think Vista ever get that name, even if they change. That's just my opinion. But you can go ahead.
It's going to be
Tim.
tough.
So
It's gonna be
ahead.
real tough.
we're running out of time here, but really quick, Sam, a lot of people might say something like, oh, you're always meeting and in front of the cameras and all of that. And let me just, before I get into my question with you, let me just say he has to. He has to. We have to be able to sit in front of our community. People are like, oh, they're only in front of the camera. They're always doing PR stuff. You have to. How are people going to know to come to you? How if they don't know? I don't even know what the mayor of Zion looks like. First of all, let me
Billy.
just say that.
Billy's a
I've
good
never
guy.
seen Billy. Okay.
He's a good man.
Okay,
He's
I'm
a
not
good
saying
guy.
he's not a bad dude. I'm just saying I don't know what he looks like. But with that being said, when we're talking about, everyone says, well, if you want change, come to the community, events and come to the things. My generation will not do that. So how do you plan to be in front of people in your next term where you're educating us without maybe the people who can make it to every single, city council meeting?
It's going to be platforms like this.
Okay.
That's the most important thing. Platforms like this. And that's part of the rebuild Waukegan.
Yeah.
Remember I said earlier, meet them where they're at.
Yes, sir.
This is where they're at. If that's where they're at, meet them.
They're on the Real
Because
Talk
I
podcast.
want them to be a part of the mission. And I'm gonna tell you something about our young people. Once you lock them in, you can sit back like, hey man, y'all drive.
Yeah, right.
And that's kind of where to answer that question, I will be in the platforms like this, or meet them where they're at in those schools going on, encouraging them. And I want to just piggyback about the PR. It is the mayor's job to public relations our community. If I don't do it,
There we go.
you're going to hear from a person who's, I don't like this and I don't like that. That's my job.
Absolutely.
So being in front of the cameras, I better be. If I don't, somebody else will.
Yeah.
And they're gonna, you know what your mom used to tell you? If you don't get it inside the house, you'll get it on the streets.
Yep.
And they're gonna give it to you wrong.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it to you the way you. I'm gonna give it to you how it is. Factual. First of all, factual. And I'll be able to receive it the same way, so I can then make those changes for you.
And this is my last thing for the mayor, because I know he is a East Bulldog, and I know y'all
But you're
from
not
Waukegan.
even a
Wait a
support-
minute.
you're not
I
even a
said, wait
supporter.
Look,
You're not even a
whatever, I
Sam
said
Cunningham
this. Let me
supporter.
say what I say, DJ Gold.
He
about
don't
these
like- hey,
Bulldogs.
Mr. Mayor, he
Let
don't
me say
like
something about
that.
these
He don't like
Bulldogs.
that.
This is his time. I was happy to see the Bulldogs, and I know the mayor was, because I seen him at some games. This is your time to
All
get them
the
Bulldogs a
games.
little something.
Man, listen.
Just get the Bulldogs a little something.
Man,
Them
that
young
game,
kids play
that
together.
game is that game against Warren. Oh, that was us. That was us in the chat.
That's right.
DJ, that was us.
All right.
Yes.
That was us. So those young men.
Just give it to them.
Here is about playing sports for me. They put the time in the gym and it paid off for them.
Amen.
You put the time in the school and it paid off for them. We need to. I'm happy and proud for them, but I'm happy that they were able to see the hard work they put in paid off. So to you young men and all of you who play sports, put that time in.
Yeah.
We'll be there.
Amen.
Put that time
love you.
in. And it goes to schoolwork. It goes to put the time in. When
Yeah.
you put the time in, it'll pay off. Proud of you. And we'll come back next year. We
And
got
keep-
4 coming back.
Keep your kids in Waukegan. Don't be trying to use them addresses too. I'm just throwing that out there.
Last thing
Yes.
before we log off, you guys, Mayor-elect, what do you need from us people in order to progress Waukegan forward? What would you ask of Waukegonites?
Right now, be patient. First of all, be a little patient.
Okay.
But hold me accountable. Don't. I'm thick-skinned. Don't worry about it. Hold me accountable. and last but not least, be engaged in some of these things that either you have concern about. Certainly, if you complain about them, but we're gonna need your help.
Okay.
And I'm gonna close it out. You said it. You said it best. These things that we're talking about cost money. Revenue. I'm trying to get up, so I don't have to come to you for your property taxes. I think over the next couple years, we're going to try to keep those property taxes flat. But when we're talking about we need a new police station, we need a new fire station, we want to do $500 million of infrastructure improvement. All of these things, there's a cost to them. I'm going to be looking for ways to generate revenue. If you have ideas, don't be bashful. Bring them to me. But more importantly, be patient, be visible, be engaged. Thank you.
Yeah, that's
Thank
a
you,
good.
Mayor. Thank you.
Yeah.
And
Thank you all for
especially,
voting.
yes, thank you everybody that voted. Thank you. We got what we were looking for, man. A great mayor, and it's time for change, and it's time to make Waukegan great again.
Yes,
So
it's-
I'm honored
Let's do it.
to have Sam
Rebuild.
Cunningham
Rebuild
as my mayor.
Waukegan. That's our deal.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
The Real Talk Podcast next week. Y'all gonna see a special guest.
And don't get emotional, y'all. A lot of things I say,
We still love DJ
What's he
Gold.
saying? Go. You saying something that's
Well,
crazy?
no, I do.
I don't know. I'm
do
just
st-
wondering.
I
It
just
came
state
from the heart
facts.
because you from Waukegan.
Yes, yes. I love Waukegan.
Passion is good.
What say
I
that?
love
Then. That's all I want
Waukegan.
to get
I
out
care
of
about Waukegan.
All right.
That's why.
Unless you care about Beach Park. And once you know another thing, congratulations on what you just did this past weekend with
Thank
these
you.
kids.
Yeah. Oh,
You did your
you.
thing.
Thank
You did your 1-2. You were shut down and you kept going.
Yes.
listen. When you engage in what you did, you have a different perspective.
Who
of
shut
what
her
we
down?
Beach Park.
Beach Park.
Do. Okay.
Beach Park?
Now
Oh.
you understand why it's important to have that mayor in that seat. That alderman over here.
Right.
Does Beach
Because-
Park have a mayor?
No.
She better run.
Beach Park has a
She better have something.
John,
Because you
who's
see
the
all the
people?
people she brought out. So
John,
she can run.
Well,
I'd have to run for Zion.
yeah.
Well, come on with it.
though?
No.
Yeah, but
Shame on that mayor in Beach Park.
I think sometimes when you have these
She
things
messed up Google
that-
Maps.
that you're doing.
See, Sam got to play the good
and
guy.
they don't know the audience that's coming in.
Right, which is understandable.
It's frightful.
Like,
Listen,
look, they thought Latin Kings, 100%. They looked at me and they thought she's bringing the Kings.
really?
To an East Egg hunt?
Yeah, look at me. Look at the way I look.
How the hell they know?
I don't
But
know.
I'm saying-
I'm
I
not,
don't
I'm
even
not
know.
affiliated. So, because it was a
The
not
East Egg
Latino
hunt was
woman.
at 10 o'clock in the morning. Kings
Yeah,
ain't getting up that early.
The baby's mamas are.
But I'm going to tell you one thing. I seen all them kids' face.
Yeah.
She messed up Google Maps, Mayor.
Yeah.
Well,
The Google Maps was messed up that day. She had cars all the way to York House and Delaney.
now,
Do you know where Encore is at?
Listen.
Y'all know, right?
listen.
The law.
I'm going to talk about that a little bit.
The Cove.
This is where, from a public safety standpoint,
Right.
police get terrified.
Right.
True.
When they start seeing that,
Right.
one thing break, they get.
Right.
They lose it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I think what happened,
They looked
they
at,
hurt. No, I'm gonna
looked
tell you what
at
they
the
did.
overall.
I figure, yeah.
They looked as like
Safety.
she having how many? No, well,
Right.
no, that's too
Right.
many cars.
Right.
I can almost bet you, police are like, man, we do not have enough officers to
Right.
kind of go and keep this thing da 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 da. So, and I don't think you knew it was going to be like
I
that.
had no idea.
So I'm gonna tell you what
Right
happened.
in the back.
Your face? Are you on Facebook?
Yeah.
But they cut
Something
it
on Facebook said you're gonna have 1,000 cars. I bet you
Yeah.
that's what happened.
Yeah. Oh, I'm
because
sure,
they
yeah.
wouldn't have known she would have had all them people.
Well, I
though.
had all those shares and all the businesses, and there was
Yeah,
it was-
somebody
The love was given to me.
No, when you
and
get
now
that
police
power,
departments,
they
what
take you
do
down.
Now, they sit on
tell you what
Facebook
it
and
is.
says, Mayor,
What's
this
gonna
event
be an issue? Yeah.
No, this event right here, Mayor, that's gonna bring 500 people. 500 people. Do they got security? No. You know who the security comes down?
Right.
The police department.
Police
I'm gonna tell you right
department.
now. Shout out to Wadsworth because when I do the car show out there, they help me out. They do it, and we shut them down all the time. You see what we do
Yeah.
with the
Are
car
we
show.
still rolling?
But that is
Oh
something.
my God, we're still rolling. Oh shit, we're
Good.
still on live.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yes.
It don't make, we just talking. So,
Because that event.
Oh my God.
That event was something that they've seen. They know it. They know they know the makeup.
Yeah.
This one right here is
Yeah.
Easter egg. Easter egg. I don't care where it's at. Them a lot of kids.
and, man, just to let you
Oh,
know,
I was talking
the
so
trick or
much.
treat. The
Walking-
trick or treat. When we started out doing that, Robert's Foster, the Foster's trick or treat, we started out real little. And then let me tell you something. The sheriff came from Waukegan. Shout out to the sheriff too. I don't think I even gave him a shout out. He came.
What's his name?
Otterberg.
Okay, that's
From
the only
Zion.
guy, the only
from
person
Zion,
you know.
not
That's the
Waukegan.
only
Just so you
person
know,
I
the sheriff from Zion.
I see him every day.
I
at
know.
the
Just
gas
so you know, he's
station.
from Zion.
Yeah.
Anyway, came up, handed out stickers to all the kids at Robert Foster and Christina Foster's trick
Yeah,
or
shout
treat.
out Robert
Shut
and
it down.
Christina.
And next year we're gonna need 3 more blocks cut off.
Well, and those are the kind of things
Hey,
that
hey, come
we
on,
wanna
Robert, what you got
do
to say real quick?
That engages
Right.
our
Who
community.
wasn't there?
Dude, let me tell you something.
I'm here
man.
from Zion. Went out to
We
trick or
used to
treat.
have every year growing
You be there
up
this
on the
year.
Sabanjan. There was the Waukegan. They call it Fest now. It was kind of like Waukegan every year.
Yeah.
You waiting for this month? Everybody. It was down at the beach.
That's right.
It was down at the beach every year.
They used to have
We
the
stopped
Easter egg
there.
hunt at Belvedere Park. I remember that.
Easter egg hunt at the Bel- These things I want. Keep them going. Keep these
A
kids
lot of stuff
busy.
using to go on the marketplace.
Keeping our young men
Daddy
and
had
young
a
ladies
pool all
busy.
Yes, sir.
And that is where we are at. I want to get them back so I can get these parents.
Yeah.
Okay, I got them engaged here.
Yeah.
Right.
Now I got their ear here.
Yeah.
Hey, you got to get this kid in school. You know what the biggest problem with the schools?
Talk to us.
Safety,
No,
It's attendance.
50%.
truancy.
And,
50%.
and the
That's
attendance,
half.
even then, they have devalued attendance where you just show up to a couple classes, you get an A.
I don't know about y'all, but when we had somebody here from the school, they said 17, 18 credits. I didn't know that.
Yeah, they changed
now.
it. I
They
mean, we're
changed to
just-
17, 18
Yeah.
credits. And back then, I know we had to be in
21.
there.
21. Ours is
Yeah,
21
yeah,
and 23.
21.
21.
21, 22, y'all.
But a lot of people didn't know, and I'm just now finding out. The mayor said 50% of our students are truant from school.
And it starts with home, too, now, y'all. Let's not forget, it starts with home. It starts with home.
But
too,
if we're
man.
creating an atmosphere that the kids want to get out of their home and come to school, I think that's a huge change too. Because like we talked about, there's no trades in these schools
Listen,
anymore. They want.
I gotta kind of disagree. It
Okay,
started
talk
home
to
too,
me.
though. 'Cause guess what you do?
100%.
I hear you a lot of times. So you get them
100%.
kids and you get so it takes DJ Gold.
100%.
It takes me first before we mess with these teachers. Now I believe in that.
100%.
Correct.
I believe in that.
Listen, guys, everybody understand. Here is the pipeline: the juvenile detention, county jail to prison. Out of 10 and 50% is not coming. That means 50% of these kids are going to hustle. The other, that's fact. That you 50 for me in truancy.
They probably already hustling. They
Yeah,
ain't
well,
there.
50%, dude. And in some schools, it's over 50%.
Oh, okay.
Over 50% of the kids. So that means out of 31 kids, 50% of them are not coming
Where are they at?
at the crib.
Damn.
Playing PlayStation, Xbox.
So, but here,
That Gurney Mills getting kicked
That's
out.
one thing my dad wasn't gonna let me do. Come back home. Now, if he dropped me off at school, you
What
better
I
not
just
bring
tell
your
y'all, I
butt
was just
home.
saying, we had the parents, and that's where we asking the parents at home, hey, look, you going to help out the school, you got to step up too. Hey, ain't no staying home because of the stomach.
Listen.
We went to school in the rain, in the
if
snow.
you are getting any kind of assistance, and your kid ain't coming, you don't need the assistance.
Tell them.
There you go.
Tell them.
Amen.
So and here's the
Come on, Elon Musk, Doge. Find out where that money going.
Here's where we're at in the black community. Oh, that ain't right. That girl said no. Because if my mom, your mom,
I know.
You have a kid.
Right.
You didn't get up to take that kid to school. That kid ain't at school.
You should be.
Something wrong.
Right.
Baby, are you sick? Are you sick, baby?
Right.
You're not sick? What?
You had to get a doctor's
Even
note.
when I was sick, my dad like, get your
Bruh,
ass out
if you
this
ain't
house.
bleeding, if you weren't bleeding,
Yeah.
you going to school.
Right.
But I'm gonna be fair, man. Missing school was like missing. It was like missing an activity because you had something always going on at school. My friends, what
We
you
pulled
doing,
up
man?
on you. That's right.
But now it's all testing. I wouldn't want to go to school all
my
the time
goodness.
if all I was doing was testing. I want to go get my hands dirty. I want to
tell
go
you
learn
something.
how to do something.
I drive right now and drop kids off. They ain't even got no book bags. Mine was busting every year. The book bag giveaway, I would have got 2 of them.
Yeah.
I got 2. The book bags we give out
Yeah.
to get at the end of the season, I needed 2.
Yeah.
These kids ain't got 1.
Yeah.
They got a laptop now. They got laptops,
Insane.
but they ain't got no books. No, to carry.
Do you have say in the school district?
I do not.
Okay.
So the school district. So Waukegan moved from. During the Sabanjan 1, I call them Sabanjan 1. The city was responsible for public housing, school district, park district. Because of what we're talking about right now, Mayor Saban's like, y'all get your own. So the school became its own entity, park district became its own entity, and then public housing has its deal. So we just handle police, fire, public works, police, fire, public works.
Say that again. What is it that the mayor handles, just in case people don't know? Because people think you're in charge. You're like president of Waukegan.
Because they get they look at Cook County. I mean Chicago. Chicago mayor is responsible for the police department, for the police, fire, public works, school, park district, water. Here, the school district has its own elected board, with the superintendent really is the mayor.
for that. For
For
the
that,
school.
the
Okay.
park district has its own elected board, with the director is the mayor for the park district. City of Waukegan, I'm responsible for the water plant, police, fire, public works, city services.
I want you guys to hear that because a lot of the times, up until now, me too, I thought that you handled all of it because people are like, well, what's the mayor going to do for the schools? He can't do anything.
No.
Go to the superintendent. Go to those board meetings. We just had people on for that. If you want change there, you have to go hyper-focused.
And I'm glad you bring that up. Here is another thing. Being in real estate.
Yes, sir. Talk to me.
Being in real estate. When you talk about tax bills, they come to me or to mayors of cities like we don't. Your tax bill, 70% of your tax bill is school district.
Yeah.
The city of Waukegan, North Chicago, Zion, if you take a look at your tax bill on there, it says City Waukegan. I know this. It says pension fire,
Yeah.
pension police, I think pension IMRF. So those two part right there, while they're the city, it is state mandated that it has to be there. I can't control that. So that money is because the state of Illinois says you must pay for police and fire pension. It's automatic. It's not the city of Waukegan. Only thing we do, we collect it and it goes directly to them.
I think
Yeah.
it's only right though.
No. I get it, but I'm saying you're raising my taxes. I'm like,
You're not raising the
yeah.
taxes.
So on a portion of that, so it says city of Waukegan, police, fire pension.
I wish I could pull a tax bill, but it's under construction on the
So my thing is here is only thing we get, it says city of Waukegan. That portion is what we get from everything else state mandated.
Yeah.
So when y'all get your tax bill, the city of Waukegan raised my taxes. I'm like, go to the school. Nobody go to the school. They always
Yeah.
come. They come to me
Because they don't know.
because they don't know. But we are more obtainable than going to that school district. Who in here hates their school teacher?
All I know is
nobody.
the school district is messed up.
Shout
I
out
had
to
a
all.
couple good little ones, though.
Shout out to all the hardworking teachers. I just, you know,
Yeah.
Look at it. Look at that.
So this is my tax bill for my house. So if anybody wants to know, and I always believe in saying this, if anyone wants to know how to access their tax bill, tax.lakecountyil.gov. You can really see the breakdown there. But the tax bills are being redone right now, so we can't pull them for this year.
Why wouldn't you want your taxes to be up? So you mean to tell me Waukegan should be at, just throwing numbers, 5%, and Zion at 20, North Chicago at 15? You should think we should stay low. That's just showing like we're not growing. Pay them.
Well, your assessment.
Up them.
But no, your assessment. And let's be clear. So
Look, they
your
ready to cuss
assessment-
me out. Like, don't you up the taxes? But I think
No,
they'll go to Zion and pay
I think
double.
we need to. So on your assessment, there's a blue sheet. Everybody. Every year you get a blue sheet. That's the assessment of your property.
Right.
You want that to go up.
Right.
You really.
When you're ready to sell it.
That's right. However, when it comes to what is taken out of that in order to pay for all of these things that we get, police, fire, public works, garbage, it is not free. Everybody, it's not free. No. You pay for that in June
In September.
and September. That's when you pay for it. That's why you want. And I say to all of our staff, they paid already. Now they want the service. Here is my deal with schools and taxes. I don't believe that we need to be assessing property taxes to pay for our schools. Why? A third of people in our communities
Don't have
own-
kids in school.
Well, they own property. You're asking that third to pay for every kid that goes to school. I think that's just that process or that system is not sustainable any longer.
I agree.
Okay.
What we can do, and corporations to fight this, income tax. You put an assessment for school for school, paying for schools on your income tax. Why? Because on the income tax, everybody get a check. So anybody got a kid in the school, now you can pay. And the cost to pay for them has just now been spread it out over everyone versus that small group.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's Constitution. That's
Yeah.
the state of Illinois Constitution has to be changed. This system of paying for school districts using property tax is not sustainable any longer. You cannot continue to ask people to go up every year, because the cost of running schools, it's a cost.
Yeah.
But when you do it on that, not income tax, not your income tax. Oh,
Fee tax?
your payroll tax.
Right.
Yes, and you pay. So the FICA, this and that. Put school district on there. So as opposed to getting $10,000 out of your taxes, most of that's coming from your property.
Right.
Let's get $1 when you spread that cost over all these people.
Right.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Right.
So
yes.
I'd rather spread the cost over 20 million than 2 million.
Yeah.
Right.
That's where your income tax come in. Put a itemized portion for that to be on the income tax.
Okay.
Your property tax should only be used, and this is, listen, it's a lot that goes in. Your property tax should only be used if we're building a school, upgrading the STEM infrastructure, the repair. That's it.
Yeah.
And it cannot exceed 2%. Now you see those income tax bills, man. $5,000. I tell you what. There's some parts of the city of Waukegan where their average property tax bill is at $40,000. That's just property tax.
That's a lot, ain't it?
Yeah. It is.
Divide that by 12.
Yeah.
Add that to your mortgage.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
Exactly.
lot.
Exactly.
That's insane.
Yeah.
The average bill right here in inner city of Waukegan, you're probably talking about $5,000 to $6,000.
That's for an
Divided
average
by
home sale price of like $250.
Yeah. Divide that by 12. That's added to your what? That's added to your mortgage. That's not a sustainable process in order, rich or poor, wealthy or not. I'm not looking for this bill to go up.
Yeah.
And when they go up, they don't go up 1.5%, 2%. They go up 15% to 20%. Bro, nothing
Come
goes
talk
up
to
in
Zion, man.
Zion is higher than anybody.
Well, let me tell you why. Here's what happened with Zion.
Tell me. My husband's watching. Baby, we're going to find out right now.
What happened with Zion?
The plant.
Commonwealth Edison used to drop $20 to $30 million a year. When they closed that plant, that 30 to
Hurt all of us.
You don't that income.
That's why I can't be all.
That income is still needed.
Yeah.
Nothing changed.
Right.
So where you gonna make up the cities
on
don't make up
taxes.
30 to 20. We don't have a product that we sell.
Damn. So you got
We
Unless we get
cannot-
dispensaries everywhere. Can we get that?
Bruh, even with them.
Zion don't even got liquor, so you in trouble.
So you're looking at the highest dispensary, and it was for medical marijuana, was in Mundelein. It did 10 million. That was the highest. You lost 20. You still 10 million short.
What would you do? You said we don't have anything that we sell to make up. I mean, is there what sets Waukegan apart in terms of having something that other places don't have that could be a revenue bringer?
Big time jobs.
Oh, no, big time jobs.
Where you gonna put them at?
No, here's what we need.
We had John's Minute Bill.
Here's what we need.
That's the
So
70s,
how do we
60s,
get, it's all about sales.
Right.
So when you see North Point out on 43, all of those bills, if they are home, if their head corporation is in Waukegan, any product that anything they sell, we get a sales tax from that.
Okay.
That's why you want those companies
To be in Waukegan.
to be in Waukegan and have their home in Waukegan. Uline used to be home based in Waukegan. Now they're in Kenosha. We lost 4 million, 5 million or more.
So Kenosha is pretty much cheaper up north then, right?
Probably for them. But what Kenosha was doing, they were giving them huge rebates. Huge. I mean, no property tax for 10 years.
Wow. Who can do
And
that?
they,
Yeah.
and they doing that for Amazon in Mexico, right now.
I
taxes for
I don't think
15
Amazon would-
years. I don't
It
know
could
if it's
be.
Amazon. It's one of
So
these
what
big
happens
companies.
is to build those factories there.
Yeah.
To build those factories there, you build them because now you're getting the property tax. You're talking 2 million square feet, bro. That's some good numbers annually. On the other side, you don't get the Amazon sales. So what we have to do now is start looking for different ways of getting sales. The sales is no longer brick and mortar. It's internet. So the internet sales, cities are not capturing. If that product is sold, if you buy from Waukegan, Zion, or Chicago, I should get the sales tax from that. We don't. So there's a big push for legislation and for us to get those sales tax. It is really going back to those home cities where the corporation is at. We said, no. If you bought a product from here, I should get sales tax from here.
Yeah.
Come on, tariffs. No, I'm just playing.
Yeah, so, but that's where your state leaders and your national leaders, we need legislation to open them doors up to tell companies from this point forward, I'm putting a sales tax on every item that is bought out. When you go to Amazon, you buy from,
Right.
and I think wherever your home number is, your address is,
Yes.
I should get a sales tax based on that.
Whoever drop it off right there at my doorstep,
Yeah.
we should get. Okay.
So another thing that happened, these phones. If you still have a landline, there was a 911 charge. It's like 10 cents, 15 cents.
Charging me to get help is crazy.
No, to your 911 centers, it's all about technology.
Right.
When you call, they can capture where you want to go. Excuse me.
You need some water? Can we get him some water, please?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
So what happened was this. Now
Tariffs.
Sales tax.
Now these phones, we don't get the 911 money
Oh, okay.
because the phone is not from Waukegan. It's from wherever that tower is.
Wherever it being.
However, when you call 911,
Sometimes you don't have to call. It's an emergency. Like if you hold it.
okay, when you do that and it hits Waukegan, I'm still servicing that. So I'm telling you, if I'm still servicing, I need to get that money.
Yeah.
That tower is Northbrook now. It is, what's another one? A lot of it is in North. So Northbrook gets the 911 money.
Because they have the tower.
They have the tower.
What are we gonna get? What can we get? What do we get other than like strippers and like liquor stores and car washes
we
and
gotta-
We get a building.
like what
get a
can we
stripper
get?
Or
I don't
do-
Car
want
washes I like. I'm selling water to them.
Or
Laundromats.
or not even that, Mayor. What do you see?
like that.
Like Waukegan downtown. Is there a plan for that coming up?
Yeah, so
before we end this
'cause we gotta get-
podcast,
we got to get going.
Yeah.
So the downtown Waukegan, if you want Waukegan to come back, if you want downtowns to come back throughout this country, what did they start with first? Residential.
Small. Okay.
Residential.
so you think it could ever go residential downtown in Waukegan?
Absolutely.
There's all those apartments up on Genesee.
Where?
On top of the buildings.
Well, no, I'm talking about more.
Like County Street and
Take it down to the lakefront and build down there by Waukegan Pier. Put some
You-
two high
that'd be,
rises.
insurance is going to be way too high right by the lake.
Well, first of all, if you take a look at any company, any city that's buying land, particularly Great Lakes, you cannot have a condo sitting down there by our beach. That northwest wind, it'd kill it.
Insurance.
Take a look at Chicago, Lakeshore Drive. You know what's underneath Lakeshore Drive?
All
Lake
water.
Michigan.
Right. All
They
water.
built roads under above
the lake.
Lake Michigan because they couldn't put condos there. That Northwest Bridge, those buildings will be done in 10 years.
Yep.
That's why there's a buffer. Our buffer is Sheridan Road.
Yes.
So if we're gonna have those, it's gotta be above the bluff. And plus, if it's above the bluff, you can look at Lake Michigan.
Money.
So the answer to your question, yes, they can. We can have 800 square foot apartments, one bedroom.
yeah. Yeah.
And you can get market rate rent for those.
Absolutely. Easily.
So when you start talking about how to bring your downtown, we need 500 to 700 units downtown Waukegan. Once the bodies come, then the retail follow. Look at Rush Street. Everybody thought Rush Street, they had the bars. No, they built the condominiums there first. Then everything came back. So that's what we have to do in order for our downtown to come back. We were slow doing it, even Libertyville. You see restaurants, but take a look at Libertyville. It's more residential
They're
down
all
there than
above
anything.
there. They're all above the
above
restaurants.
it.
Yeah.
Everything.
Absolutely.
Case of Bonita, I like them.
I don't know. Their skirts taste a little nasty to me, but
Let's understand, where did they start at, everybody?
Waukegan.
Casa Bonita,
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Glen Rock, and Belvedere.
Yep.
You know that corner? That's Casa Bonita.
And once again,
Shorty Lopez.
wasn't Libertyville the first Waukegan, and then they changed to Libertyville, and Waukegan wasn't technically Waukegan, because isn't Libertyville serviced partly sometimes by Waukegan?
Well, it was Little Fort. Well, Waukegan is called Little Fort.
Little Fort, but Libertyville was Waukegan, and Waukegan was Little Fort, from my understanding. Am I wrong? I'll double check. I'll ask ChatGPT later.
All that was Little Fort. Then Waukegan came in, but Waukegan was the county.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All that was farmland, bro. I mean, farmland.
How about Granny
Swamps.
Mills? Everything.
Everything was farmland.
Yeah.
But as they
Yeah, one
began
person
to,
on all that, right?
as they began to develop, we had an arrogance about ourselves. Y'all not going nowhere. We're Waukegan.
It's like when they said Titanic couldn't sink.
So as those cities began to develop, we kept saying, y'all not going nowhere. We're Waukegan. You need us. We don't need you. They became urban cities. You want to see something really fascinating? Go to Highwood. Bruh.
Yeah.
Highwood is gorgeous.
It's beautiful.
We want to be, in order to do that, we have to do one thing, and that's bring residential in the downtown. Not
I know
family.
a great real estate agent.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Not family.
You want, either that 55 and older, or that 21 to 35, maybe,
One man and one dog.
yeah.
That's it.
Man and his dog.
Well, people are having, less and less kids and more pets, and people are getting, less and less marriages, and so there's a property for somebody everywhere.
And I love all my kids, but I
Love them all.
I swear,
But guess what?
they'd be
We're
pets.
gonna love them. We're gonna love them next Wednesday on the Real
Yes.
Talk Podcast.
I would have got all pets.
Thank
I
you,
gotta get out of
yeah,
here.
we gotta get out of here.
We gotta
Thank
get
you,
out of
Sam.
here. We gotta get out
Thank
of
you
here.
guys for tuning
Everybody
in.
at
Thank
home.
our mayor, Waukegan Mayor's in the building, man. I'm honored, man. And thank you again, man.
Tune in next week.
Great luck. Great luck.
All right. We good?
Awesome.
We okay?
Yeah, we're all set. Yeah, good job, guys. Good job. Good job.
The sun's out. La 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 la. And it feels so good. La 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 la. On the right side. La 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 la. And it feels so good. Let's go. La 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 la. Praying hands to the Father. Oh, wait too good to be bothered. Oh, living life with no stress. Yes, every minute's my best. Yes, feel like I'm winning the lottery. Buying my mama a house is harder than pottery. Winning it just like I ought to be. Things looking up, up. I'm living on the bright side, looking for that good life. Everything is alright, riding on that golden wave, swimming in the fresh blue, pussy feeling brand new. Sun is about to break through. Ooh, I love the world today. I'm living on the bright side. 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 It's that tank top weather, oh. All my friends get together, oh. Feel it couldn't be better, yes. Tell me this is forever, yes. Summer days they're getting hotter. She getting up out the water. Baby is beautiful, so that's the future is wavy. Colors are crazy. I'm living on the